Hey fellas, how you doing? It's Johnny. I wanted to share something in this video with you. I think it'll really help you. I want to share some of my experience throughout my 32 years of living. So in this video, I want to talk about connection. I want to talk about why connection has been so important to myself, and of course it's so important to other people. Now, when we hear words like connection, it's so easy again to laugh about it and to giggle and to wash it under the carpet and to say it sounds cheesy, it sounds a bit spiritual, it sounds lovey-dovey. But when I go back in my life and I look at the days when I was really struggling with social anxiety, I had a lot of depression, I had really low self-esteem, I had no idea who I was, no sense of identity, really unhappy, really confused. And it was really about because I'd lost connection with myself. Now, it's interesting because sometimes when you're going through a situation in life and you're disconnected, you don't know that you're disconnected. You just know that something doesn't feel right. And quite often or not, we'll say things like, I feel like something's missing in my life. Or I feel like I'm not fully reaching my potential. Or I'm not unhappy, or I'm not happy. I don't know, I'm just kind of not really sure. There's been a loss of purpose. Now, I remember all throughout my 20s feeling lost. I remember really feeling sort of just the darkness. So sometimes there were days where I wasn't unhappy, but I wasn't happy. I was in the middle, and it was just, and I didn't know what it was. And of course, like most of us in society, and it's not a bad thing, I thought always the obvious things, well, if I got a girlfriend, it would stop this. And what was this? It was this. There's a feeling of loneliness, or I didn't know, something didn't feel right. But I also didn't know what I needed to do to change the feeling. Let's call it depression. So I thought, in my mind, if I had a girlfriend and I was in love with a woman, that would make me feel better. So I went down that route, and I managed to, I did whatever I had to do. I got a girlfriend, and it felt alright, it felt good, I felt quite happy, and it came back again. I thought, oh no, it's back again, what's going on? There's that feeling. I didn't feel connected. In my life, there was something wasn't right. It didn't feel right, I couldn't put my finger on it. I kept thinking, something doesn't feel right. I felt like I was hiding from something. I felt like I was running away. I used to ask myself, I used to actually say, am I dishonest? Am I too honest? Am I not ambitious enough? Am I ungrateful? I used to get that a lot. I used to get a voice, and then a voice saying to me, don't be so ungrateful. Don't be so ungrateful. So I used to think to myself, maybe I've not achieved enough because I didn't go to university. So I thought, maybe I'm not intelligent enough. Maybe that's why I'm feeling I'm feeling guilty, I'm feeling ashamed. I feel a disconnection. Then I used to think, I think it's money. I associated with money. I thought, it's got to be money, isn't it? So I'd see other people making money. I'd think, oh, they seem connected. So I went down the money route. It's not like I ever made millions of pounds, but I started to work in that area of my life. The girlfriend was done. Started to make more money. It felt good again, felt right. And then I felt, again, it was back. I thought, oh no. There's a disconnection. I'm not connected. Or I'm connected for a bit, it's back again. What is it? What's going on? Girlfriend's there, making more money than I ever was. Then I thought, I need more. So I thought maybe if I pursue more women, if I sleep with more women, that will do it. Maybe I shouldn't be in a relationship. I went down that avenue. It was great. I fucking loved it. I'll be straight with you guys. I love going out and meeting different. I felt empowered. I thought, this is great. Coming from a guy that always struggled with women. Sorry there, I've spat in passion. And but still it was back. Lack of connection. I thought, what is going on? What have I got to do? And I thought, is it God? I'm not sure if I believe in God or not. I'm not really too sure about this. I believe in it in my own way, but I don't want to be like a religious nut, too religious and crazy and spiritual and away with the fairies and out of touch with reality. I said there was an emptiness. And I sort of weren't too sure. I thought, not sure if I want to know what this is, because it might frighten me. Maybe it's best I don't know. So I thought, let me put it to a side and come back to it after. So I continued going along, and I started to listen to people like Alan Watts, because I've always liked Alan Watts. It's weird, because part of me didn't like spirituality, because I was for a bit strange spiritual people. They're a bit weird. But I loved it. I was drawn to it, because Alan Watts was talking about stuff that was very deep. Some of it I understood on maybe an unconscious level, but on the conscious level it was a bit strange. But he was speaking, getting closer to this language, and he talked a lot about he used to say the word coming off it, and that's what I kind of felt like. I kind of felt like I need to come off it. But I'm also scared I'm scared to come away from what I've got. So I've got the girls, money's starting to come in, starting to feel the confidence in a way that we'd measure on a society way of looking at things. A man who's succeeding materially, but I started to realise spiritually something was missing. I now understand what that is. I'm still on this path, but it's a lot clearer to me because I feel much better about myself now. I want to share this with you guys because it's going to be beneficial wherever you're at. I'd had no relationship with myself. I had no connection with who I truly was. I know that word gets used a lot. It gets used very easily. We hear it and it sounds a little bit cliche, but I didn't know who I was. I was identifying myself by the things that I'd had achieved and the things I was going after. And there's nothing wrong with those things, because there's a catch-22. If you don't go for them, then you feel shitty. Let's be honest, guys. Who enjoys having no money? I'm spiritual, but I'm also realistic. I'm a realist. If you've got no money, struggling to pay your bills, you're not going to be happy. Be straight with me. Let's be honest. If you're not dating any women, you could be lonely. I've been there, because you want to have a girlfriend. You want to have that sexual, intimate connection with a woman, and women are likewise. So I realised it wasn't really a mistake to go for these things, but in going for these things, I had to make these mistakes to get the realisation, to realise the deeper aspects of myself and the way that I wanted to view the world and connect with people. So that's when I started to discover I'm carrying a lot of trauma. I'm carrying a lot of shame. I'm carrying a lot of guilt. There's a lot of insecurity that is deep, that is laid underneath me, that needs looking at. And in psychology they call it the inner child. So my inner child was in a lot of pain. And I didn't really want to look at this stuff at the time, but it started to hurt more and more. And I noticed that the more of the material things, in the sense of money and women and sex and all those sort of quick sort of things, those sugar rushes we get, these addictive personalities we had, the more I was going in that direction, the more I was suffering on the inside. So I kind of thought to myself, what about I leave that for a second? I've achieved some of that. I know how to do that. Come away, go on the inside and start engineering and fixing things. And that's when I went on to the spiritual aspect. Because I'd always been quite skeptical of spirituality, because I always thought spirituality, how I understood it, was telling you can't make money because you'll be a bad person and you're not materialistic and you don't care about the universe and the world. I also thought spiritual people were not in touch with reality, with going to work, with family, with food, watching TV, football, normal things we do. But I realised that wasn't true for me, and that wasn't true for the people that I looked up to. They were spiritualists, but they were still enjoying the fruits of life, going out and having nice dinners, doing nice things, family time. So we could get this spiritual balance. And I'd seen my mentors, people that I looked up to, people like Les Brown, people like Alan Watts, some of the actors that I like. I don't know, there's people like, I really like Denzel Washington. Who else is there that I really like? Some of the obvious names. Sylvester Stallone, Schwarzenegger. Now, okay, no one's perfect, but they seem to reflect something in myself that they had, that I had not yet connected to. And then I thought about Bruce Lee. Then I thought, I wish I had the confidence to pursue this, because I know in pursuing this, I could connect with myself. And I know connecting with the deeper aspects of myself, I could actually connect with people better. Because I started to feel like I wasn't connecting with people properly. It's mad to say it. So I'll give you an analogy. So when I was going out on the street, I was talking to women and getting numbers, but I felt like I was a million miles away. I felt like I wasn't connecting with them, and I started to realise, because I'm not connecting with the deeper aspect, and I think I'm not connecting with the deeper aspects of myself. And I see this with so many people today in society, and with clients that I work with to begin with. They're kind of lost, they don't know what they want. So when we say that, what we're saying is, I don't know who I am. And it takes a lot of courage to say that. And that's why I'm very grateful, for how hard I work for a start. Now, like I said, I don't have all this figured out. I'm still on the journey, I'm enjoying it, but I've got a lot more figured out, and I've really connected with myself. And that old spiritual concept of get your inner world right and the outer world starts to look better and connect. And that's what started to happen for me. And it was weird because I went for a stage of a kind of minimalistic style of living. I started to get rid of things. It was making me unhappy. So, and this is not a judgmental thing, I had to stop sex. Like, my body wanted it. I still wanted to get laid to feed that part, but it was making me unhappy. I had to stop it. So I stopped getting laid for a year. I stopped alcohol. I really wanted to reduce negative conversations. Although I'm human, I still fall into it sometimes, you all do. But I had to really start observing my conversations and, the way I was treating people and what I was around. Anything that was affecting me on the inside. And this is what I want to share with you guys, that I've kind of, spirituality actually really helped me a lot. The stuff when we talk about God and better living and the spiritual teachings, it really helped me. And, maybe it's a catch-22, but the spirituality actually helped me to improve my business. So I wasn't consciously trying to make more money, but the spirituality enabled me to connect to a deeper aspect of myself. And in doing so, you naturally start to gravitate more business towards your work, because you're not trying to make money just for the sake of making money. You're doing what you love. And then I realized my purpose is to help men that have got social anxiety and that are afraid. They don't know who they are. So I want to help them to become their best version of their self. And that's a powerful statement to make for a teacher, but that's what I do. And that's what I did. That's what I'm still doing. And that's really what men want, and women as well. We really want to connect with the deeper aspects of ourselves. And in doing so, all the other things we start getting anyway. The mundane things like nice clothes. These clothes are nice, I appreciate these, I'm very grateful. Before I couldn't afford these. But this is just a consequence of me connecting with myself. So words like confidence, self-love, self-esteem, integrity, congruency, being awakened, being your true self, your best version, this all comes at effect of you connecting with the deeper aspects of yourself. So how did I do it? Enough of the talk, because people always talk about I've done it, but they never say how I did it. I'm going to share how I did it. I had to face terror. Again, that's something that gets sometimes underlooked in spirituality. People think spirituality is about birds, nature, love, and never having to suffer or have to face fear. I had to face terror. I was avoiding terror through the material stuff, getting laid. So getting laid, making money, not being fully in line with my true purpose or my true calling started to make me unhappy. So it makes sense. So I think of it as this synchronicity, this oneness, this puzzle. So we get the relationship of ourself right, we work on ourselves, and in the process of doing that, of course we're going to connect with people better. But what most people do, what I did at the start, I made a mistake. Maybe it wasn't a mistake. I try to fix everything else, fix everyone. The people pleaser. No personal boundaries, no sense of self. Sometimes being unkind to people. So we lose balance, we lose connection, because we're trying to fix it outside and we ruin the inside. So this is something I wanted to share with you. It's really exciting. And it's enabled me to tap into so much more. So it's quite interesting, because when you connect with yourself, it's like, for me it was like reading an extra 20,000 books. That's how much intellectual knowledge and spiritual wisdom I unlocked. I couldn't believe the amount of knowledge that I'd actually had in me that was blocked. because of the cause of not fixing traumas and so forth. So facing fear for me was my whole metaphor. Everything I've been through, growing up on a council estate, being around violence, being around feeling disconnected, feeling a little bit ostracized from, the general kind of societal norms. And then sometimes feeling really connected and not feeling sure, not that confusion. And I spoke to someone the other day on the phone, they said that. I think that's the most worst place to be at, when you're not sure. You're kind of happy, but you're not sure. Sometimes I'd rather be completely depressed, because you know where you stand, or really happy. So I did this by facing fear. Some of the things I did all the things. I've just got a mentor, which I'd always recommend people doing, or at least a good friend who wants the best for you, to help you and to tell you, where you're going wrong, what you're avoiding. So what are you running away from? What are you hiding from? Be really honest. Go to the places that make you feel uncomfortable, because it was uncomfortable for me. But the discomfort actually started to become the comfort. And then I started to enjoy it. I started to enjoy going out and facing my fears. A lot of my fears, as you guys know already, centered around a lot of the areas of social anxiety. Those areas projected into life anxiety, the fear of success, the fear of achieving more, because having to change. And then I realised I didn't really change. I just revealed. I just connected. But I've kind of got another take on this. Even if we don't try and connect, at some stage, life itself will gradually start connecting. So you can't really avoid this. So the good news is, whether you're doing it right now, whether you're avoiding it, you're doing it right now. It's just a question of where are you at your stage of connection. So if I had to say, how is my connection with myself, my self-love on a scale of 1 to 10 being really honest, I would say I'm on an 8 to 10. That's incredible for me, because I used to be on a 0 to 10. So I'm still working on stuff, but I'm in an amazing place. So ask yourself, on a scale of 1 to 10, and be really honest, how much do you love yourself? Don't bullshit yourself. Don't just rationalize it and say, I love myself because I'm running a business, I'm making money. It's got nothing to do with your internal happiness. Or I've got an attractive girlfriend. It's got nothing to do with it. That is a kind of a projection. So if you say to yourself now, I'm 4 out of 10, great. More work to be done. If you're 10 out of 10, please share with me how you've got to 10, because I want to get there myself. So maybe make a YouTube video, or send me an email. If you're 3 out of 10, maybe you're being dishonest. Maybe your integrity's out. Maybe you're following the crowd. Sometimes when we feel disconnected, it's because we follow the crowd. Oh, everyone else is doing it, I'll do it. I did that so much at school. I used to say to my mum, your son is a good kid, but he's easily led. What that meant was, I wasn't a leader. I didn't know how to lead my own life. I was young, I was 13, I was getting bullied at school, what do you expect? But as I got older, I realised that's not my natural character. And I don't mean this in a domineering sense, a controlling sense. I'm a natural leader, so are you. But you won't be a natural leader when you're not connected with yourself. So that's what I wanted to share with you. I hope that helps. It's something that was been very true to me. And I've always done it the raw way. The spirituality's been raw. The meditation's been all right, it's been okay, but it didn't change it for me. Maybe it'll be different. Everyone's route is different, but I'm sure my route might be similar to yours. So I went out and I had to I did a lot of, facing social situations and public speaking, deeper aspects of my psychology, childhood traumas, healing, counselling. I love it all, man. All right. So enjoy the process. Thanks for listening. Remember, when you connect with yourself, everything else seems to connect much better. Love you guys. Enjoy the process. Bye.